Hey everyone, Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker, world's greatest screenwriter, recovering hobo, and cyclist. Or I don't even like to call my cyclist. Commuter, worker, citizen. Uh, I nearly got hit by a Tesla Model X today at an intersection in LA. That's a terrible intersection. I've seen broken glass there. I've seen car bumpers on the sidewalk at the intersection. I got sweat and sunscreen going down my face. So I want to talk about this and make a plea for you all, if you would, a little call to action about what we can do to prevent traffic fatalities and cyclist deaths and pedestrian deaths, and also make the city more like traffic move better, and for it to be more like amenable to people getting around. So I was on Cahuenga going south. So Cahuenga, like famous street in Hollywood, Melrose. Pretty sure people have heard that name before. Melrose is like like kind of a big, I don't know what you call it, like is it Melrose Boulevard? Merrill's Place? Merrill's Place? Whatever. It's like a main street. The traffic is awful because there's so many lights and so many driveways of businesses where people are turning in and out. And the right lane is often blocked certain hours of the day where people can park. So it's just horrible. People are always waiting to turn left. And the intersection there, I'm not going to edit this video, but look it up. Cahuenga and Melrose on Google Maps. Or look up pictures people have taken. You probably find news articles about whoever, Arnold Schwarzenegger having car crashes there. It's like you can't, if you're on Cahuenga going south, you can't see out the left side. So southeast? Yeah. You can't really see east until you're pulling out. So anyways, it's a dangerous intersection. So when I'm riding my bike there, I try and stay on the sidewalk when I'm at that intersection. I will not have my bike like stopped at the red light when when traffic's going left and right, because cars try and turn, and I've seen so many times drivers pull out, don't know if they're going to stop, don't know if the incoming car is going to hit them, and the car is going to flip my way. So I stay back at the corner, like on the sidewalk. Light turns green. I'm looking, make sure all the cars pass, because cars get greedy about, or drivers get greedy about turning left, when they're waiting. Kind of understandable, because again, the streets are terrible and traffic's awful. If you just wait your turn, it's not going to work. So it's kind of, hopefully, a lot of people are cognizant, hey, cars may come after the light has turned green for you, so you wait. No cars were coming, no cars were turning right, so I'm going south. Across Cahuenga, past Melrose. The Melrose is cross street. This big blue Tesla Model X, the SUV with the Falcon doors, is turning left. And I'm watching her, actually, it was a woman. Watching her, I'm riding. Now I'm not on the crosswalk, I'm like to the left of the crosswalk, but not in the center of the lane. I'm wearing this bright phosphorescent jacket and this helmet, which I'm going to go get a new one now. I was going to say exchange it. They probably won't exchange this. Get a brighter one, because this obviously blends into the background too much. And so she slows down a little. I slow down a little, but she's like aimed right at me, turning left. But I don't stop at all. I don't even slow down enough to like put my feet on the ground. I keep going, and she just accelerates towards me. And like, I just keep going, but I'm going slowly because I'm like, I don't know which way she's going to go, what's going on. And I see her kind of laughing in her car. I don't know what she was really feeling. So, people can mask their emotions, but she was kind of laughing. And like, she comes within like a few feet of me. I don't know. I don't want to exaggerate, but it was like 3 or 4 feet maybe. Like, she stops, and I yell, "Watch out!" And she's just kind of laughing. And I go past, and I'm like, oh, that was horrible. This is a massive, heavy vehicle. So I don't know if it was on autopilot or what, but people are distracted. I'm like, how do you not see this bright phosphorescent thing? Now I'm wearing dark pants. My bike is black. I was wearing sunglasses too. So anyways, that was horrible. And I realized, I've heard so many stories and seen statistics on not just cyclist deaths. Forget just cyclists. There's nothing special about cyclists. If people want to drive, I think that's cool, really. Like, even though there's so many horrible things about it, and, I've had 2 cars destroyed by hit and run, so I'm not just speaking as a cyclist. I'm speaking as just a citizen and commuter, and a computer. I'm Short Circuit, or what was it? The one with the son who was a robot, and his dad was, what's his name? Alan something, Alan Thick, I can't remember. Anyways, uh, can we get? I want to plea to the leaders out there. I know there's been some movement and there's been great progress towards public transportation. Does it make any sense for cyclists to share the road with drivers and drivers to share the road with cyclists? Who's happy with that arrangement? Do drivers like cyclists slowing them down? I don't blame them at all for not wanting to share the road. And I'm not saying they all do. Most drivers are very conscientious, actually. Like, even if they have the right of way at a stop sign, like, I'll wait at a stop sign, like they have the right of way, but they're waiting for me to fly through it, and I'll stop and like put my feet down. And sometimes I can see they just want me to go through, so okay, I go ahead. So they're being conscientious, and then you just get a distracted driver, this person who, I don't know again if the Tesla was on autopilot or what, but who would have just exploded my body because that Tesla has such insane torque and acceleration, and it's so heavy. The battery is massive in that vehicle, and it's an SUV. It can go 0 to 60 in like 3 or 4 seconds. So can we make a plea, please, out there, everybody, if you would, tweet, email, call, and when you call, like, be nice, you know, the council members' offices. I believe where I was, I'm not totally sure. It was District 13, Mitch O'Farrell, he's about to be voted out. He voted against the Vision Zero plan to implement all road changes, to make sure all road changes include like legally implemented, you know, like legally devised plans already that are supposed to go into effect when new roads are repaved or whatever, to have, you know, more pedestrian accessibility, wheelchair accessibility. A lot of sidewalks here you cannot get over in a wheelchair, or there's no ramp to the street. But anyways, can we get people emailing them saying, hey, let's have the ultimate win-win for you, for the drivers, for the cyclists, less traffic deaths and crashes, so less hospital visits, less dying people, less traffic delays because of accidents, even if no one's really hurt. Can we make it so there's more bike infrastructure, protected bike lanes, protected ones, not painted strips on the side of the road, or the so-called sharrows where it just says, you know, a little outline of a cyclist on a road, where you share the road with vehicles on a big street. Put actual protected bike lanes. It's so much safer for everybody. Because no matter what, if you have the painted bike lane, that does not protect from distracted drivers. If you have the plastic pylons like they do in downtown LA, those don't protect against distracted drivers. You need barriers, whether it's concrete, little stones on the ground, trees, you know, a little strip of concrete. Have the cars park outside it. Does it make sense? Isn't that the ultimate win-win? Mitch O'Farrell, this stupid goon, voted against this plan, like recently with the city council, because, well, who knows why. I mean, probably, you know, why, either ignorance or bought and paid for. So he won't bother, you know, with the rich residents here. You know, cyclists, what kind of character would that bring to our neighborhood? Might be a poor person on that bicycle. Did you think of that? Do you know what that would do to our neighborhood? Same with people who don't want, you know, trains coming through their neighborhood. Metro's a lifesaver. It's also sketchy as hell, but the Metro's awesome. We need more of it. And anyways, would you just like tweet at them? Look up the city council members in LA, specifically like District 13. That's where I am, but all over. The Mayor Garcetti, I know he's put some initiatives into effect. I've ridden some of the places that he's, you know, changed to add bike trails and stuff. I was recently in Burbank and rode on a beautiful, completely separated bike trail from the road. I was like, this is awesome. I've never seen this before. And don't the drivers win? Aren't they like, oh, this is great. Less bicyclists on the road, less traffic, more people feel safe getting on their bikes, so they get out of their cars. They don't spend $10,000, $13,000 a year on a depreciating asset, a car, if they don't want to. If you want to, fine, but LA shouldn't be squeezing people to make sure, like, to make them have to get around via car, which is so expensive, stressful, time-consuming, dangerous. I mean, I've been in multiple accidents, and 2 of them destroyed my cars, and my car was just parked on the street overnight. The first one, I was sleeping in it because I was homeless, and it was destroyed, and I was injured, went to the hospital and stuff. So, like, do we need this? Who's winning? So, like, come on, win-win. And you get to brag about it. Not Mitch O'Farrell. He's too, effed up to, like, with his, whatever his agenda is, as far as, like, not really wanting safe streets. And he's about to be voted out anyways, it looks like. But can everybody there just mention, hey, send them a video of something. There's all these urbanist YouTube channels that explain the benefits of bike infrastructure, of mass transit. Also, don't we need cleaner air? Like, isn't this poisoning everyone? Poisoning the elderly, the, middle-aged, or whatever, like children, like everybody in between. It's damaging our lungs and organs, damaging our eyes, our skin. The noise is so stressful. It's dangerous. Cars or drivers get distracted and they hit people. They jump curbs. We have to have protected infrastructure. That was so intense today, seeing this car just go up to me like, how much more visible can I be? I was wearing my backpack like this just to demonstrate. Like, I was wearing this, but the driver was coming on this side, my left side, even though the video may reverse it, it mirrors it. So if you would, just send a message. Let the city council know not to sit on this. And by the way, aren't we in a climate emergency? Don't we need, aren't we in the middle of a drought? Like, don't we need, the oceans are being bleached, the atmosphere is being poisoned. Don't we absolutely need to act on this quickly and to do what we can to get people who don't want to drive? I'm not saying force people out of the cars. I'm saying make the streets safer, make drivers safer, pedestrians safer, cyclists safer, make for less pollution, make for less traffic so people get where they want to go faster, make for a better environment. Lead the world. Brag about it. Win-win. Look how you can brag and say, look how many traffic deaths we reduced. Look how many cyclist deaths we reduced. Look how many more people are able to find jobs because they can get around easier. To get jobs, that's the same thing. To get to their jobs. A lot of people rely on, public transit to get around, to look for jobs, to go to job interviews. Is this not a win-win proposition? I know they're expanding the metro a lot, so it's kind of, I know they're kind of on it in a way, but we need everybody to urge them to go more quickly and to push for more metro service, more bus service, all that. Anyways, and protected bike lanes. There's so many streets around here with painted strips for a cyclist where people can just open their door and hit you because they're parked on one side, and on the other side there's drivers where I don't even want to ride in those lanes, because again, how does that protect you from a distracted driver? It does not. It makes no sense, and there's good reason to do it now, not later, because anything you wait to do later as far as construction, repaving the streets and all that, it's only going to get more expensive. It gets more expensive as time goes on. So you can do these little incremental changes over time, or just do them all now and lead the way, lead the world. Mitch O'Farrell, I guess he doesn't want to brag about how much he's improving LA. He doesn't want that. Okay, leave it to someone else then. So anyways, if you would, tweet Mayor Garcetti, do all this stuff. You can share this video, but there's other videos too where you can actually provide people who have done very close looks at this, not just bikes and I forget the channel name, RM Transit, or there's all the urbanist channels, City Beautiful, I guess. I don't even remember the names of them all, but check those out and share them, because this is ridiculous. Is this not one of the richest cities in the world, in the richest country in the world? And we're designing intersections ass backwards. So first of all, traffic clogs them and they're dangerous, but also we could just have bike lanes if we want. You could just do that and have more transit and have traffic calming measures and all that. And that way people wouldn't feel as urgent a need to turn left into an intersection, nearly hitting someone because they're trying to decide, can I dodge the cyclist or not, or do I care if I hit them? I just need to get going. So that's my plea. Send that out. I haven't been making many videos lately. I've been terribly busy. This makes me more busy. I seriously am going to go get a brighter helmet today. This is not going to work for me anymore. All right, bye. Oh, and like I said, tweet Mayor Garcetti, tweet the Governor Newsom. and email their offices. And if you call them, by the way, their staffs are very nice. Like, they're used to calls. You just call, be respectful. It helps to tell an anecdote, a story. You, even if you don't live in LA, say whatever the truth is. Either you plan on visiting LA, you want to live here sometime, or you're watching me, you're a fan of me or whoever, somebody else in LA, and you don't want them to get hurt or killed on the road. And it just seems unconscionable that this hasn't been changed and made like so that the city is so much safer and makes it easier for people to get around. Amsterdam did it. Amsterdam used to be much more car centered for their roads. They've done such huge changes in the last few decades to make it bike friendly and make for, you know, regularly scheduled trains and commuter rail and whatever all the other names of the different kind of rails are. I forget. I'm mixing them all up. But there's like local subways and then what is it? Fast commuter something. Anyways, light rail and all that. We can have that stuff if we want. So let's do it. Come on, let's do it. What are we waiting for? That SUV was like a few feet from running me over, completely like flattening me. So anyways, email them. If you call them, again, they'll be nice, like, because their staff answered the phone. Just tell the truth. You don't have to tell a huge story. Just say, hey, this is important. Everybody wins. And or you can email them, their staffs, or the city council people and the mayor of LA, Garcetti. Email them with some videos, either this one or one of those, you know, Not Just Bikes is kind of the big one, but one of those other urbanist channels that encourage better transit options. They're safer, better for the environment. It makes it easier to live. People don't have to rely on cars. People don't have to spend a ton on ride shares. People with disabilities can get around easier. So anyways, there you go. That's my plea.